Creamer Media's Polity, I'm Tabi Shomulikai. Joining me today is Professor Raymond Suttner, here to unpack part 3 of National Dialogue Services. You criticize the National Dialogue for being neither national nor a dialogue. So why do you say this can be remedied?
Well, it can be remedied if you advance certain understandings of what it should mean. First of all, it's not going to happen on one day. It's the time frame cannot really be decided till it has started, and it ought to be an ongoing process, drawing in more and more people, advancing more and more ideas, something we haven't had for a long time, where ideas are debated. You know, people are advancing ideas in think tanks or universities or within departments, I hope, but we're not having a lot of debate in South Africa now. If this is to be a time of debate, you can't set an immediate time limit for it to finish. It's not that sort of thing. And I think if it's going to be ongoing, these things like social compact as an outcome may remain an outcome. The notion of a common vision will be enriched by a number of people coming with their own visions of what the future holds for them. And I think we may find that it will start a broader debate which will make freedom in South Africa more of a reality than it has been up till now.
And you stress the need for a dialogue to be ongoing, taking time to achieve goals that may still arise, but not necessarily easily and quickly realized. Now, government may not want that, and others want to see substantial change, may also want to move quickly. So how is that to be resolved?
Well, that's what is debated, is that if some people think it's urgent, therefore we must put in place this and the other, which is a bad idea, we have to resist it. We resist putting new things in place till we are sure that they're going to help the situation in the country. And that is a situation of debate, not one of government deciding, the GNU deciding, and not having debate. There's no debate with the going on. There's no ongoing debate going between the government and the people of South Africa. This COGTA thing of dismissing 250,000 workers was just announced. Now, that's completely, I was alive in 1994, and that was it's completely the opposite of what we planned. We didn't plan a situation which was top-down. We had fought against top-down, happened to be white ruling. Now you've got predominantly Black people, Africans in particular, who are leading, but they are not in a dynamic relationship, mutually enriching one another. And that is the type of freedom that we wanted. And that is the type of freedom that I believe the national dialogue should try to inject more richly than before. It wasn't perfect, what we had before. What we hoped for was not perfect. But we've learned a lot of things, and those things must be injected.
And you relate your understanding of the national and dialogue as similar to how we understand other words like democracy as having an ever-enlarging scope. So what effect does that understanding have?
If you take democracy as meaning one thing, some people will take that to mean that you vote every 5 years. Other people will say you do that, but you must also have a number of other vehicles for people realizing themselves in between the 5-year period. And it's important to have this notion of words as being dynamic. If I read, I'm going to write something on the Freedom Charter. Now, I'm not so convinced or excited about the Freedom Charter as I was when I first wrote it. Not so as convinced. However, I'm reading it carefully and asking myself, what do these words mean? And the words can have a number of other meanings. As we said about caring, love, relationships, all these things. And we must bring all of that into our interpretation and enlarge the understanding of freedom.
And talking about the Freedom Charter, in your reference to the Charter, you read anti-xenophobic meanings. So are you not perhaps importing your own hopes in the text?
But that's what you must do. When you interpret something, someone standing next to me may interpret it to mean A. I'm entitled to say, for me, freedom is about enriching the life that we already have. That's what we're allowed to do. When we interpret, we change what we're talking about into something better. We try to make it better. That's what our duty is. That's what the Constitutional Court does. That's a limited example because that's law. But people in communities have developed schemes to clean up places, to ensure that people get meals outside of the state. Now, some of that ought to be in the state as well. So there's nothing wrong with importing your own meals. That's your duty, and the duty of others to listen, show why it's wrong or show why it's right.
That was Professor Raymond Suttner speaking to Creamer Media's Polity about Part 3 of National Dialogue Series.